Hey everybody, welcome back. I wanted to go into this situation with Russia and the Ukraine since it's pretty much the topic of every news story now. First of all, I'm just for the record, I am definitely against what Russia did going into the Ukraine. I think sovereign countries need to deal with their affairs internally. I don't think countries should be going into a place to try to fix other countries. I think they should do everything they can diplomatically to try to help improve countries or provide support to people within countries if they need to. But you know, when you go into a country military and you try to take it over, even if you have a good reason, there's a lot of things and there's a lot of unintended consequences that happen for that. So obviously I disagree with Russia, and I'm definitely not pro-Putin. I want to make that clear. Putin, like pretty much the entire world's leaders, pretty much persecuted those who don't want to take coronavirus vaccines. I don't call them vaccines, but a lot of people call them vaccines. So worldwide, they have all been pushing an agenda to make everybody give up their bodily autonomy and take COVID-19 injections. And Putin is exactly like every other leader. Putin's also a puppet of the World Economic Forum, just like Justin Trudeau, just like Emmanuel Macron. So I'm not pro-Putin. I'm not a Russian. I wouldn't want to be in Russia. I don't live in Russia. So that being said, I want to go over this because we in America have been spoon-fed both right and left, pretty much anti-Putin, anti-Russia stuff all the time. And they always make it out to be, this guy is doing all the evil. This guy is doing everything wrong. Well, long time ago, we agreed, in the 90s actually, early 90s, when they disbanded the Soviet Union, that we agreed that we would not pursue more NATO membership east. And since then, we've done tons of new NATO members. And now we're right at their border. It'd be just like if Putin was going straight up to the very edge of the Mexican border and put missiles there. Just like the Cuban Missile Crisis, you know, when they were putting missiles in Cuba, you know. It is a threat to American national security, and it's exactly the same way with Putin. So I don't want to excuse what he did, but I'm also not going to just sit there and sugarcoat what America has been doing for many, many decades that leads up to this. I mean, we meddled with them in 2014 in their elections. We actually supported Nazis, Nazi people, to come against pro-Russian people in the Ukraine. And we created all kinds of havoc in their elections. We've corrupted Ukraine tremendously. Our politicians are, gosh, you probably could name about half of them, somehow profiting from or involved with Ukrainian business deals with corrupt companies. So it's a very complicated situation in that respect, but the simple answer is you just honor your agreements. When we said to Russia that we weren't going to expand NATO, we shouldn't have done it. We should have never pushed for every country in Europe to be part of NATO, especially when we had a major goal of disbanding the Soviet Union and stopping the Cold War. So you do that, and then you honor your agreements. And I think that's biblical, because when we make a covenant with somebody, we fulfill it. If we need to change the terms, we talk about it again. If the things are changing, if the situation's changing, then at that point we address it, and maybe we make a new agreement. But we don't just break our agreements. And so if the U.S. was faithful to its own agreements, and if we were smart about our own energy and our own resources, if we were using our own energy and resources, we could diminish the power and influence of Russia just with us being an energy-independent nation, which obviously Biden, from day one, wanted the Keystone Pipeline shut down. He's part of the climate change agenda, which I'm going to talk about in a video soon. So the whole climate change agenda is designed to bring every country under control of a one-world governance. If a unelected group of people worldwide can control the resources and the energy development of every country, they can essentially have monopolies on everything and own everything while you own nothing. So the country I'm in right now, the United States, they're in line with the World Economic Forum for now, the current administration. And pretty much all of Europe, most of Europe at least, is in line with the World Economic Forum, that you will own nothing and you'll be happy. So there aren't any good guys in this fight. Let's just be honest. The U.S. isn't good. Russia's not good. Europe is not good. We're all full of broken and hurting people. And many people are being used by the enemy and they don't even know it. And some of them do know it and they're hiding it. To see what's going on and somehow get on board with, the U.S. government's interventions, get on board with the military-industrial complex. It's just utterly foolish, and it shows that we're not learning anything, because we've had, many decades of the military-industrial complex getting us into more and more wars, heaping up tons and tons and tons of debt. They're going to push war. They're going to push, I think they're going to push climate change very heavily coming up, because COVID was their dream. They got so many things done through COVID that they always wanted to do through climate change. And now that COVID's starting to diminish and the cases are going down, they're going to look for something else that will justify doing the same things that they were doing. It's going to continue to create a higher amount of wealth for the elite. It's going to continue to strip other people of their own independence and freedom. And it's going to continue to destroy our world. So the climate change agenda is every bit as bad, maybe worse in some ways, than the COVID-19 agenda. Don't surrender your freedoms. Don't surrender critical thinking. And don't choose sides on this. Stay on the side of truth. Don't lose heart, and don't be deceived. That's my message to you today.
Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share the video with friends and family. You can follow me on Facebook at Untethered Truth Prevails. You can also find me on Twitter at UntetheredVince. If you'd like to give to me financially, you can go to Patreon, and you can find me there at Untethered Creations. I'm also on Venmo, and you can find me if you go to Vince-Barton-1. Once again, I really appreciate you all for joining me, and I wish you good success in the pursuit of truth. Grace and peace to you all.